This can cost quite a bit of money, by the way. Do you think that a company with only one person can make $1 billion? Well, I'm not trying to say that we're going to do that today, but I have two projects and two ideas, and I found some pitfalls with the idea behind it, and based on some of the latest AI models out there. Right now in front of you see a window with the option to choose between Gemini, OpenAI, AI, and Anthropic. I was going to add in a local LLM, but I'm waiting on a new piece of hardware to arrive at my home. So you can choose the model in this right now for the CEO, the product manager, the coder, the marketer, and the QA. And when you start off, you can ask for it to make, say, create a basic web page about cars. Now, I was actually quite surprised with how good this came out, but I'll get into that a little bit more after this. So you click OK, and the messenger bot, I'm supposed to have met him at the front door, was working on this project, but I hadn't pushed too much into it before I decided to go on another route. But the code is available in my GitHub if you want to take this and then push it yourself and potentially make yourself $1 billion company, advancing further ahead than what I had. So right now, this is the internet zone, and the marketer is going off to find out information about cars. I've actually disabled the internet as a test for myself. So you can add in other things, like I'm thinking an NCP a server on one side, which allows you to control the things like Blender or Slack or whatever else. But the marketer then goes off and does his thinking at his desk, and once he's finished, he drops off some files in the save zone, and the product manager comes over, takes that away, saying, okay, this is the information that I have from the marketing team, and I'm going to go off and make my own design of a web page based on that. Once he's finished doing this, he will relay that he's done to the coder. The coder will go collect the files. I had to very much go here, go here, go here, because I didn't like how things like Crew AI would do 50 different messages and possibly get stuck in a loop. But also, I thought it'd be interesting if I progressed further with this to have them communicate to me, the owner of the company, I guess, what they're thinking and what direction they might go in, and I could have continual feedback with them. But I really wanted them to primarily go and talk to the CEO whenever they got stuck. And they do that in the background, and I was going to add in more animations to make it more fun. I've left the poor HTML, CSS, and JavaScript coders in the background, just sitting at their own desks. Only the coder and the QA end up moving around at this stage. What I have done in this version of this project was they were creating a single HTML page, a single CSS, a single JS, and I tried to expand that further in another version, but the linkages or communication between each of the agents was pretty bad. Now, I was working on this when Google decided to drop the agent-to-agent communication, which I need to dive into as well, because I think that's fantastic and very useful, and almost blew this out of the water straight away. And then the weekend progressed, and of course, all the other companies out there decided to do their own things and make competitive tools, which I tried to integrate. So right now, on this software, I'm using the latest OpenAI, the latest Anthropic, the latest Google, and they do a fascinating and amazing job. Here is a demo of some of the things that were created just by that team, by the way. They don't have the images in here because I didn't give them the ability to either generate images or actually use the internet. So you could replace these internally yourself. But had I ended up doing that, then you're looking already at something like Manus or a lower end version, or even lower end version of OpenDevin. If we might as well show a couple of other ones that it ended up generating. So each team had a marketer report, a product manager report, and the coders report. So here's another one, which I thought this was really cool. Like when I saw this, I was like, this is fantastic. It made it in 5 minutes and it looked amazing. So something to look at when you're playing around with the code if you want to. What else? So, oh yeah, I wanted to make it demonstrate a few other things, but this is where I'm going to get to the core of the problem now in a minute. And this one doesn't look as advanced, but I did add in some theme settings to make it look a little nicer if you wanted to have a different setup. But this one is actually a lot better than the previous one that I just demoed. So I'll go with the basic setup. This is the kind of Lord of the Rings theme. So I'll go with the basic setup. So first of all, you can delete your developer, you can delete your QA agent. And you have 6 different zones, and these are what I call finish zones. So this is where the developer will drop off something. So I created a bunch of different things that they could create. So like the snake game or making a nebula. So let's just drop in the nebula. If you drag and drop it in, or if you click on a box and make another one yourself, you can adjust this. And if you adjusted it, it'll make you another one as well. Again, this is up on my GitHub. So create a single HTML page with a full screen canvas, generate 500 small white circular particles randomly distributed. Make particles drift slowly and randomly. When the mouse cursor moves over the canvas, particles within a 100 pixel radius should gently accelerate away from the cursor. Particles should fade slightly if they approach the edge of the canvas. I don't think this is very advanced, but it was through my testing. So let's just put it down. First of all, we'll spawn an agent, and we have all the options. So this is OpenAI 4.1, Gemini 2.5 Pro, Anthropic 3.7 Sonnet. So I will just go with Anthropic for now because it's a really good, reliable model, and I just like it being down here. Now, let's say I wanted to have a second one going on at the same time, say a music one. So make a music one, okay? Make a single web page with a piano. I can do multiple web pages, but I just wanted to do this this way. So I'm going to make another agent, and I will make this one Gemini. Spawn agent, quick. Okay. Now, both of these are made, and when they finish, they're just going to drop it off here. But what I wanted was for, let's say, OpenAI, and we're going to spawn him as a QA, so he's going to examine the work. Oh, clicked on the wrong one. He's going to examine the work of one of these guys. Let's create another one, and we will go with OpenAI again. So this is all 3 different models running simultaneously. Now I think I have some asynchronous threads that I need to work on, but it functions, and I was quite happy, and I was just testing. So first, to start it all off, did I click on that? No, I did not click on that. So he now clicks on that, and the work is begun. So this can cost quite a bit of money, by the way. So you can leave them running. I had 6 of them running simultaneously, and I made a bunch of different projects. But while they're running, I will just kind of shift this over to the side and open up one of the examples. Oh, yeah, okay, you see that? Cool. Just, I don't know what to say, okay? You can definitely make a better version of this with a single prompt inside of OpenAI or Gemini or whatever else you want. Inside here, you can see that you're getting multiple different files, and it's all communicating together to create each one of those files. Each file knows what's in the other file. And I did make some very big projects that have bugs in them. So that's where the QA agent came in. But I had been thinking a lot about this, and I found that the best approach overall ends up being a human correcting as you go along, because the compounding errors of AI, working with AI and examining AI, doesn't guide it in any particular direction that you want it to go in. It ends up just creating whatever it thinks it should be doing, and you just get surprised at your end result. You go, oh, that's beautiful. What does it do? So yeah, vibe coding I think is better than this, by the way. So and I don't think vibe coding is the greatest thing in the world either. So yeah, I have a few projects that all end up being interesting. Oh yeah, so here's one of them. Like, this is not something I would ever make. I'm not even sure what the AI thought I was looking for in this case. I know my prompt and prompting is probably even more important now than ever before. And if I had given it a big, huge spiel of a prompt, then it would have been pretty cool. However, these guys are still working. Again, the speed is another issue I found. Working as a human on it, it works a lot faster. So here's another one where the images weren't immediately connected up because it didn't have the internet connected to it. I think, we caught an interaction. So a developer now drops it off, the QA automatically comes in, reads his files, and then once he's done, he's going to go and drop it off in the drop-off zone, make a zip file of it, and your project is there ready to go. And it should have most code working. I've been trying to figure out whether or not it's better to redo, say, a script, or do differential changes. So like change only this section of the code where you found where a potential problem is, or do this section of code where you found the problem. Okay, cool. He's dropped off and he's created a zip folder. Oh, the next guy's in. Oh, same QA is coming to check. Okay, because he was free. It's random. Whichever one is closest or whichever one is free will grab it in this particular instance. So yeah, he did examine that, and I guess we can have a look at the outputs. There we go. Here's another random one for you. So it followed the prompt exactly. The whole thing runs straight away. And yeah, the next one should work also straight away. So I do love that I made this, but as I was making it, I realized it does feel a lot better when I'm working on it myself also. So here's another one, the latest one. I will put that into the same area and see what that one looks like. Again, this is available on the GitHub in the description. So if you want to give it a go, you can. I'd love to see if anybody wants to improve upon it. I would be honored. You guys hear the sound on that? Again, you can make your own versions better. Oh, can I do keys? Wait a second. Okay, cool. Yeah. So in my experience, and this may not be for all, there's a hierarchy of coding. The lowest level, I think, is this. Then you have vibe coding. Then you have coders actually working on the code and using a bit of AI to solve problems here and there, and maybe like the Stack Overflow or the internet still, because I doubt that this will, even with a lot of different tools and a lot of other capabilities, will be on par with anything other than, say, Manus or even OpenAI's tools right now, which I think will eventually struggle without the human curator and marketer actually pointing it in the right direction for what we really want. I did love making this. I learned a lot, and there's a lot more things that I think that I'm going to learn. But I think going forward, all of my future projects will be me actually making it along with AI assistance, and never just allowing AI by itself to make everything, because it's kind of crappy sometimes, even if it is amazing in other ways. Thank you.